Hello everyone, welcome to tonight's webinar. It's just about 5 o'clock, we will begin shortly. Just a couple of brief introductions. My name is Jeremy Maville, I'm the Digital Marketing Manager here at AAA Travel. I'm really excited to have you all join us tonight, and I wanted to start off the evening by introducing you to your host, Megan, who's here from AAA Travel, and she'll kind of go over some simple housekeeping rules to make the most out of tonight's webinar and introduce you to Kevin, who's with us from AAA Member Choice Vacations. Megan?
Thanks, Jeremy. First off, welcome everyone. We are so excited you guys are able to join us this evening. First, I'd like to introduce myself. I am Meg Horn. I am the Travel Sales Manager here at AAA Northeast, and I am joined with my colleague Stacy Crowley, as well as Kevin Carter from AAA Member Choice Vacations. As Jeremy mentioned, we do have a few housekeeping items here. So first off, everyone is actually muted for the presentation, but this is interactive. So we do have a Q&A section for you. So if you look at the bottom towards your screen there, you should see a toolbar. There'll be a little box. There are two boxes overlapping. One has a little question mark. You click on that, it should say show Q&A. You can open that up. It'll should be a text box, and you can pop in any questions you might have throughout the presentation while Kevin's talking about the destinations. Stacy's going to be monitoring those as we go along, and she can answer those throughout. And then as well at the end, we will kind of finish up everything with some question and answers as well. So with that being said, everyone here at AAA Northeast, we are so glad you're all here to join us and our trusted travel partner, Member Choice Vacations, for the second of our two-part series. Personally, I'm very excited for this one. I just went to the Grand Canyon last September, so I can't wait to hear all the great stuff Kevin's going to talk about with the national parks in the U.S. So with that being said, I'm going to hand it on over to Kevin to kick us off. Enjoy, everyone.
Great, thank you so much to AAA, and thank you for joining us. We're going to talk a little bit about AAA Member Choice Vacations, the opening of tours starting July 1st, and we'll be featuring the U.S. National Parks, which have been our highest rated searched tours, also booked tours recently. And so that's going to build some confidence in travel in general. So we've had some people really considering U.S. national parks, maybe staying a little bit closer to home. But it's great to see that tours are opening and destinations are opening. So we're going to talk a little bit about why guided travel. Maybe you've traveled with touring before. We're going to talk about AAA Member Choice Vacations and really the value and why you would consider guided travel, because we are a 102-year-old company, but we have adapted, we have changed with the times and with the adventurous travel now. Years ago, people wanted to be held by the hands, 8 hours of sightseeing and 3 meals a day, but we've really adapted and really had a nice way of changing with the times. Right off the bat, our commitment to you is the Traveling Well experience. We're not just opening up tours, we're opening up destinations and tours that comply with our safety protocol and procedures. So I want to talk a little bit about that to build confidence in travel in general. Our Traveling Well experience with AAA, in summary, will be asking travelers to complete a wellness declaration before travel or joining the tour. As always, we have our private sedan service that I'll be talking about, but that is private, and our vendors have ensured the surfaces will be cleaned after every passenger. We will be operating tours with smaller groups and empty seats so guests can space out. Not only is this our exploration small tour, but we're looking at our classic and mainstream tours that were kept at 44, running them at 29. So I'll talk a little bit about that. And then we're enhancing training for our tour managers about our safety protocol. And we'll be providing face masks for pre-tour documents for each guest. Motor coaches will be disinfected often and have hand sanitizer available at all times. And we'll be working with our vendor partners and restaurants for social distancing and protocols. So, for instance, if a restaurant is not open for groups or not open in general, and we can't find a vendor that we feel that can comply, we will reimburse you the portion of the trip or the experience that you didn't experience. So, if you're not going to experience a dinner that was included and it was priced out, you'll be reimbursed or not charged that price. And that goes for all different aspects of the tour. But if we're not able to really comply or really look at the true integrity of the tour, we're obviously not going to be running those destinations or those tours in general. Protocols will be put in place if guests start to feel unwell during the tour. And then we'll be doing a post-tour survey after your tour. We want to hear from you. We want to hear from the agents. This is a very fluid and obviously it's ever-changing times. So we want to know what we did well, what we can do better, and really, if we're able to open up destinations and different tours, we want to hear from you on what we can do to improve. I did talk a little bit about the smaller groups, and there will be an icon on our new brochures and online to get your most up-to-date. And these will be our classic tours that were capped at 44. We were running them around 34 to 36 passengers, but they'll be maxing out at 29 and averaging 24. So if you're interested in, say, our national parks tour, which is 12 days, we'll be having the small group icon, and you can work with your travel agent to see which tours will be included. So that's going to give you more time for open space on the coach, adequate physical distancing, and maybe you feel more comfortable, enjoyable travel experience in general. So keep an eye out for this, more to come. We're looking at adding about 150 or opening 150 tours to start with this small tour experience. Private sedan service. This is always been for all 160 itineraries with AAA Member Choice Vacations. This is included in land and air packages that are booked with AAA. It includes private sedan service within 50 miles round trip. It is private and it's pretty much limo service to and from the airport. For a small surcharge, depending on distance, we have added from 50 to 75 miles for a small surcharge. So complimentary 50 up to 75 miles for a small fee. And keep in mind, this does not need to be your physical home address of the booking member. So you can use a family or friend's home and get picked up there. Our vendors will work with you, and you can work with the agent to really enhance your trip, because this is a great way to start and end your trip, a wonderful way for private sedan service. I usually talk a bit about this about the end, but I think it's relative right now. It's our industry-leading travel protection plan. If you do book and do get travel insurance with AAA Member Choice Vacations, you can cancel for any reason up until 24 hours before your client, before you as a member departs. And that also includes travel delay, trip interruption. We unfortunately, or fortunately, did have trips that were on tour during COVID-19, and we were able to get them back on the first available flight, and then we reimbursed the member the portion of the trip they did not experience. So very comprehensive insurance, covers baggage loss, delay, missed connections, medical expenses, injury or illness, and it is a 24-hour hotline. And to have your tour manager, if you are on tour there, they are always there for you. What we've added to our protection plan is our flexibility, and then we add this through departures through December 31st, 2021. And this is just also cancel for any reason, but this is a one-time with no charges or fees. You can change your tour date or itinerary altogether up to 60 days before departure. So let's just say you're booked on Italy and you don't feel comfortable traveling during that time. You can either move the same itinerary to a different date, or if you wanted to travel to maybe Spain or Ireland or even national parks, you can move your departure outside of 60 days with no fees and just pay the difference. So obviously if the destination is more expensive, you just pay the difference of your originally booked trip. So this is just a way that you can feel confident booking. You have your cancellation waiver for any reason, but also the way if you still want to travel, you can move your date with one-time, no charge fees. We're going to talk a little bit about more travel as for Member Choice Vacation, and basically the guided and escorted sector of vacations. So I'll talk about a little bit more about peace of mind, member benefits, expertise on tour, and more flexibility. We've really adapted throughout the years, and you'll see throughout the presentation. On all of our tours, AAA members save every tour, every time, save $50 on every tour. And then we also include up to $75 or $50 on some tours, an optional excursion. So very great savings, and you're going to find your best pricing booking your travel through AAA. We always talk about accommodations. Now we list all of our itineraries on our itineraries and in our brochure and online. We're very proud of them. We contract with hotels directly, so we just don't say Venice area. We don't feel like that's fair. We want you to see where you're staying. We use high quality, iconic, and unique hotels. Depending on where you're going on 160 tours, you can know that the quality is going to be up there of that 4-star superior hotel with member choice vacations. Now, we used to say centrally located hotels, and that's true in cities like Paris and Rome and New York. But as you can see here, these are iconic and unique hotels to the region. We say strategically located now because these are Instagram worthy, they're bragging right worthy, they're why people even book the Trimmen sometimes. These are the Igloo hotels in Finland. Now this tour is fairly new for us. It's about 3 to 4 years old, and when we first released it, we added 20 departure dates because of its popularity. And this is one of the main reasons. It's really the experience, it's bragging rights, overlooking under the Finland stars and even the Northern Lights and your Igloo hotel. So these are fantastic. People want something different. They want something unique, and AAA has it for you. Now, one of the objections that we do know and we have adapted is, people may not consider guided because they feel there's too much jumping around with one hotel stays. We very rarely try to use them unless it's a tough destination. There's a lot to see, like our U.S. national parks. You'll see there's a couple one hotel stays, but they're unique hotels like the national parks or Grand Canyon lodges. But there's less hotel hopping with AAA Member Choice Vacation. We average 2.5 nights per hotel, which means you're going to be able to pack and unpack, use the amenities, and get acclimated to your surroundings. When you consider we have tours up to 30 days and 5 days, to be almost 3 nights per hotel stay is not bad. So you really can enjoy your hotels. 50 plus of our tours have 3 or fewer. 75% of our tours use 5 or fewer hotels. And we just did a presentation an hour ago on Spotlights tours, which are 1 hotel stays in major destinations and major cities and fantastic destinations throughout the whole world. So if that's something you're interested in, your travel agent can help you with Spotlights. Culinary inclusions. Years ago, again, we're a 102-year-old company. People wanted 8 hours of sightseeing, wanted to be handheld, and wanted 3 meals a day. Now the experienced traveler has become more adventurous. They want to experience the culinary aspects of destinations, and we've really adapted our menus and our dining experience throughout. So we've listened to the guest and the member. We include 57% of all meals. Breakfast is included every day at leisure. But we listened. People didn't want lunch unless it was a unique experience. They really wanted to explore on their own. That was their time to maybe be on their own, explore, or maybe shopping. So they just wanted to grab a gelato for lunch, which is easy to do in Europe. So we listened. 60% of our dinners are included. And you also said, if you wanted a dinner, you wanted it to be unique, you wanted it to be different, and you wanted to have the local cuisine. So we do river cruise dinners, we do Ayers Rock sunset dinner in the outback of Australia, and then we even do breakfast in New York at Ellen's Stardust Diners. Many of these, take months in advance for reservations or waiting in line. So you go right in as a group, and one of the advantages of going guided is that time of not wasting time standing in line for tickets or waiting to get into museum and restaurants. So we've done the research for you. Great time. One of the other things is dinner in the Eiffel Tower that are included. So we've really upped our game in the culinary aspects. We do progressive dinners, home hosted meals, interactive classes. We've gone to farmers markets with the chef. They bring back the ingredients, and then we do a cooking class back at the hotel, and then have dinner with the cooking class experience. We have exclusive experiences like I talked about, and then regional specialties. Very rarely do we use the hotel meals. We want to get out to the local restaurants, meet the locals, have the regional specialties. And typically, you're getting choice. You're not just being given something. So if you want to experience the different food in Iceland or in Finland or in all areas of the country, we're going to have that aspect, and you're going to be able to try and be a little bit more adventurous. We also include the must-sees inclusions. Member Choice Vacations is not a very option-driven company. We pride ourselves on having the best value. So we're not just going to get you to Italy and then have an optional tour of the Colosseum. That's a must-see. So we're very limited on what we have as options. Typically on an 8 to 10 day trip to Europe, we're going to have about 2 to 4 options. And when we say options, they might be a little bit more unique, a little bit more adventurous. Or if you want to still eat a dinner as a group, we're going to include a nice dinner with a show and transportation. Other things that we might have are not for everyone, or might be a little bit more expensive that would drive the price of the tour up, like a balloon ride in the outback or a balloon ride in Africa. So just know that the must-sees, you're not going to be nickel and dime every day to see the destinations that you purchased. Know that you've really purchased a product that you're going to be able to see the destination. AAA Member Choice Vacations really pioneered the choice on tour. We're adding to all itineraries. 75% of our tours now have choice on tour. And what this is it is included. It's not extra out-of-pocket expenses for you, but they give you a little you make the tour your own. So for instance, in Costa Rica, you can either choose going zip lining or hike the lava field. So one might be a little bit more adventurous, a little bit more outgoing or active. Snowshoeing in Canada, or a guided ice canyon walking tour. For instance, in Iceland, in Reykjavik, you could do a bike tour of the city or a walking tour of the city. And also in Iceland, you have a choice of doing a lava hike or a glacial tour in Reykjavik. So really, we're giving you the paint and the canvas and making the tour your own. We have different travel styles for you. Our classic is capped at 44 guests and members, but those are the ones that you will see that icon that will have capped at 29 and averaging around 20 to 24. We've always had our explorations small group, which are capped at 24, but they're averaging anywhere from 12 to 14. So really, if you're looking at 30 to 40% savings on guided or escorted travel, would you consider traveling with 4 to 6 couples to save on your travel? So really consider small group and classic small group if maybe it's something that you want to try. We talked about our spotlights, those single hotel stays, and then our river cruising we do have available, as well as Faith. So we'll be talking about our national parks of the U.S. I featured some of our top searched and top booked tours with AAA in the last few weeks. We have bookings. We've had people pay in full. People are excited. They don't want to be home. They've been on their couches and they really want to be excited. So with our savings that I'm going to talk about at the end, don't hesitate, because you have wonderful savings now. You have a cancellation waiver and you have that ability to change. So if this is something that you're interested in, this National Parks Tour is always in the top 5, always sells out year after year. And some of the hotels that we use here, you have to book years in advance. So to have openings and to have some of our tours have the ability to be small tour, take advantage of that. This is a 12-day tour. It visits 5 national parks. You'll see a couple of one hotel stays, and you'll see that we go through many states, and we're going throughout this region. But these drive times by motor coach, keep in mind, these are absolutely part of the tour. You don't want to be falling asleep during these times. Your tour manager is going to be waking you up, because the drive time and the scenery that you're going to be seeing is absolutely fantastic. So I started with our 12-day tour, because from there we break out the U.S. national parks, especially in these regions. We do the southern region of the national parks, featuring Arizona and Nevada, as well as we do the northern region in some of these areas. So this is a 12-day, does 5 national parks. You start in Arizona, you head up and you stay in Lake Powell. Then you stay in the Grand Canyon National Park at the Grand Canyon Lodges. Those are the ones that sometimes you have to book years in advance. Then you're visiting Zion National Park and Bryce National Park. Some of those hidden gems that people may not know as much about than the Grand Canyon, but some of these areas are even more and become people's favorite destinations on this trip. Then you're spending 2 nights in Salt Lake City. Then we head up to Jackson Hole, where you see the Grand Tetons, Yellowstone National Parks, heading over to Sheridan and visiting Mount Rushmore, where you'll see Crazy Horse and Mount Rushmore flying out of Rapid City after your night stay in Rapid City. From there, we have a tour called Canyon Countries, which features the southern portion of the national parks in the Grand Canyon area. This is 8 days, 10 meals. Beautiful sites. It's a little bit shorter, obviously, and you're starting again in flying into Phoenix, staying in Scottsdale, heading up into Sedona, the Grand Canyon National Parks on the South Rim, and then you're spending 2 nights in Lake Powell, and also 2 nights in Springdale, where you'll be visiting Zion National Park and Bryce National Park, like I talked about, and then you'll be ending in Las Vegas. This is a great tour if you have family and friends in these areas. You can always extend with your travel agent to either maybe fly in a little bit early. You could spend a week with family or friends in Scottsdale, or maybe extend it a night or two and either use our hotels or kind of extend or do back-to-back tours. So it doesn't affect the tour price, doesn't affect the air, and you can work with your travel agent. So if you wanted to extend and make the tour different and in your own, you could always extend and do pre and post nights at the beginning or end. America's Cowboy Country, one of our fastest growing products, 8 days, 11 meals, really wonderful places, great value when you talk about these destinations. These are great in the spring, high summer, and even fall. This will be in and out of, you'll be going into Jackson Hole, Wyoming, great vacationing area, many presidents vacation there. Then we'll be heading up to Yellowstone National Parks, Cody, Sheridan, and then 3 nights in Rapid City, where you're going to be heading out to Badlands National Park, Custer State Park, and of course Mount Rushmore and Crazy Horse Memorial. Painted Canyons of the West. This is on my list because it's a brand new tour. It's 9 days, 11 meals, and you'll see that there is choice on tour. This is a wonderful tour, doing different areas that we haven't talked about yet. You're into Denver and out of Las Vegas. This is another tour that if you wanted to extend in Denver and extend in Las Vegas, there's so much to do in Denver, great city, and obviously so much to do in Las Vegas. But you'll be doing Grand Junction, Colorado National Monument, Archer's National Monument, which is one of the most photographed areas of Utah, Canyonlands National Park, and then you'll be doing Dead Horse, and then Bryce and Zion. So really a great tour, wonderful value. And what I would do if I was taking this trip, I would consider doing a 1-night pre-night in Denver and really getting acclimated to the area, because there's so much to do, and then extending in Las Vegas if Las Vegas is for you. We have a great tour of the Pacific Northwest in California, 8 days, 10 meals. And you'll be going from Seattle to San Francisco. You'll be seeing a beautiful portion of our country. Seattle is one of the fastest growing and beautiful areas in Seattle. And the great news is about this, we're going from Seattle down to San Francisco. We're on the right side of the highway, which many people don't realize that that's important. But you're going to be getting unbelievable views of the ocean from Washington, Oregon, and California. To run this tour in reverse, you'd be on the opposite side, and you'd be taking pictures over some highways. So keep that in mind when we make some stops. You're going to be stopping on the coastline in many cases. So you're going to be hitting Mount St. Helens, the Cascade Mountains. You'll be spending 2 nights in Portland, another fantastic city, one of my favorites, and then heading down to Newport, North Bend, and really a place that's on my list too is the Redwoods National Park. You'll be spending a night in Blue Lake and then 2 nights in San Francisco. So if you wanted to extend in San Francisco, you could work with your travel agent. And then really, if you want to do Napa and Sonoma areas, that's an easy way. And then you can fly out of San Francisco. So really a great trip, wonderfully priced trip too. There's a lot to see, lot included, wonderful value to see these 3 states. Great tour, Colorado Rockies, 9 days, 11 meals with choice on tour. You're going to be heading into Colorado Springs, a beautiful area. Heading over to Durango. If you've never been to Durango, it's just that old West charm. Really a cowboy. It's like stepping back in time, heading to Durango. Great, easy walking city. From there, you're going to be taking a train ride to Silverton, Mesa Verde National Park. And then you're going to be Durango and the the narrow gauge Gauge Railroad. From there, you're going to head to Grand Junction for 2 nights. You'll be doing the Colorado National Monument, Archers, Dead Horse National Park, and Canyonland National Park. So just a kind of different way of visiting, and this would be all of Colorado. Bluegrass country and the Smoky Mountains. Now, this is one of our oldest tours that we've brought back a few years ago. It's close to my heart because I am originally from New England. I lived in Chicago for 10 years, but I've just recently moved to Charlotte, North Carolina. And I'll tell you, Asheville is, there's a lot of press, a lot of places to see, but Louisville, Gatlinburg, and Asheville, this is an absolutely great value. You see so much. And this is just a great tour in the spring, summer, and for those of you that love the foliage, you see here, great tour in the fall. 9 days, 12 meals with choice on tour. You fly into Louisville, you're going to head into Lexington, and then Gatlinburg, Great Smoky Mountain National Parks, and then 2 nights in Asheville with a wonderful hotel, city center of Asheville, known for its food, its shops, its breweries, right in the heart of the Smoky Mountains. And then you're going to have a really easy drive to Charlotte where you fly out. Really great tour. You're seeing 3 wonderful cities, including the Biltmore Estates. This was one of our most popular tours years ago, and it's really gotten some great press with Louisville and Gatlinburg and Asheville. So good thing is here you got some 2-night stays and a 3-night stay in Gatlinburg. So that's just some featured tours that have been highly searched and highly booked recently. This is our traveler loyalty program. Whether you've traveled with us or not, if you do have this credit, we're honoring it for 2 years. Obviously, with times being as they are, we wanted to make sure that you took advantage of the travel credit. If you do travel with us, it will be good for 2 years. That's $150 per person, combinable with your member benefits and any offers in the industry for AAA Member Choice Vacations. Oh, the slide always comes up on me, but that's, I just want to thank you. We're going to open it up to some questions, and really hopefully you enjoyed the presentation itself and learned a little bit more about maybe some destinations that are a little closer to home.
Great, thank you so much, Kevin. So we'll give it a few more minutes for those questions to come in. As a reminder, you can click on the Q&A section on your toolbar in the lower right-hand corner, those 2 little overlapping text boxes with the question mark. You can feel free to type any questions you have in there and we'll roll them up to Kevin. One of the most asked questions that we really receive during our events is why book with AAA? What's the benefit of coming to us? And there's quite a few, especially with partners like AAA Member Choice Vacations. Booking with us will save you valuable time and money. We are able to leverage our relationships that we have with our preferred partners, again, just like AAA Member Choice Vacation, to offer you special exclusive member benefits. We're here to give you all of our travel tips as well as destination-specific recommendations. There's never any hassle or any stress when you work with us. When something goes wrong, we have you covered. The best part about using a travel agent is that it's a part of your membership. There's no additional cost to work with our travel experts. That's one of the best values I think that you can get. Our incredible travel agents are always here for you. We have so many ways for you to connect with us. In the following days, your travel agent who invited you to this presentation will follow up with you, answer any specific questions that you may have, and to help you plan your next trip to the national parks. There's also a few ways that you can get in contact with us. You can call us at 1-800-222-7448 to get connected with an agent. You can go to our website at AAA.com to chat or set up an appointment, or you can email us at reslink, RESLINK at AAAnortheast.com, and we'll connect you with an agent. I will publish that information for you guys as well so that you have it. All right, so it looks like we have a few questions coming in. Somebody asked, do spotlights have choice on tour options?
Yes, some do. You'll see that little icon with the two arrows going in each direction. So it depends on the destination itself. So you can see that either online with your travel agent or in our brochure.
Perfect. Good question. Let's see. Are these trips appropriate for the solo traveler? That's a great question.
Absolutely. We have solo travelers. There is a single supplement, but what we're really trying to do, we're featuring tours, and you can work with your travel agent that have lower single supplements. And we are looking at solo traveler programs. So you can also talk to your travel agent on those, and they can see which ones are featuring solo traveler. But absolutely, it's a great way for people to meet other people and people with same likes and interests, especially travel interests.
Yeah, that's such a great question. The next one was actually, is there an increased cost for single travelers? So just to reiterate what Kevin had said, there is a single supplement, but working with your travel agent is the best option, because sometimes there may be itineraries that can give you a better deal there. Do you have any special offers happening right now?
Absolutely. We have a fantastic worldwide travel event. It is up to 15% off international travel, and it depends on when you travel. If you're traveling in 2020 and in the first quarter of 2021, we want to give you, and obviously you're helping the industry, you're helping AAA, and you're helping AAA Member Choice Vacations. And we want to give you the benefit of doing that. So it's up to 15% off international travel on all tours and 10% off domestic travel, which we have added and increased the window of booking opportunity through the end of July. Typically, these savings you'd see for maybe 24 hours or 48 hours, but things being as they are, we're really trying to entice and want people to book and feel confident in booking. So take the savings now. These could be anywhere from, depending on what you travel, if you do a 30-day trip to Australia and New Zealand, the savings of 15% off is absolutely fantastic. And with our waiver and with our way of changing your tour itinerary, take advantage of the savings now. And then if you do have to change your mind or change your itinerary, you can do that. But typically, we never see a window of that much savings for the tour and the guided sector.
Yeah, that's such a great deal. That really is true. That's a wonderful promotion to take advantage of. Can these trips be customized so that I can spend extra days in the areas that I'm more interested in? It's a great question.
Yes, it's a great question. If you had, we do select travel. So if you had a big group or a family group that wanted to do, you could do a group exclusive and kind of make the tour what we call special requests. It may add to, depending on what you want to do. So that's called a customized trip. But to customize and make it your own, I talked about pre and post trips. That's how you can really customize the trip to yourself. But unfortunately, if you do the middle, you are with a guided tour. If you change any aspect there, then we couldn't do that, unfortunately.
Perfect. Yeah, and just like Kevin said, we can add pre. You work with your travel agent and add pre nights or post nights, and customize and extend your trip on the other ends as well. We can definitely help with all of that.
And just to recap on that, just like in any time, say you've been to a region and you didn't really want to do maybe the sightseeing, as long as the tour manager knows and you wanted to maybe visit family or friends or kind of do your own thing or even just use the spa at the hotel, That's totally fine. We don't make you do the tours. So you just let the tour manager know that you're going to stay back or you're going to go visit friends. As long as the trip's not taking off to the next city, that's absolutely doable.
Perfect. These next three questions are actually all very similar. So they're asking are these trips appropriate for children? Are there kid-specific tours, or are there age restrictions for children joining these tours?
You can work with your travel agent. We do have families and multi-generational travel, whether parents or even grandparents taking their grandchildren and really open their eyes about travel. It's becoming very, very popular. I think that the average age is the youngest age is 8. But I can make sure you can talk to your travel agent. And then there's certain destinations that are more featured towards the family or the children traveling. Costa Rica is very popular. Even Iceland is very popular. They tend to be a little bit more adventurous. And we do have families and children even going to the African safari. Wonderful value. Our portfolio in Africa, Kenya, Egypt, and even South Africa are wonderful. So yes, we do have children on tour, and some you can work with your travel agent to talk about destinations or tours that are more featured for the family.
Awesome. Someone is asking if you offer any bus tours or any tours of the New England area.
Yes, we did. I didn't feature this because I wanted to feature the U.S. national parks, but we do probably about 8 to 12 tours of New England, featuring the fall foliage in some cases, spring, summer, and fall, islands of New England, and then some really fantastic tours of Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and then we even do the east coast of Canada, some of the islands up there, great destinations. So if you're interested in New England, Eastern Canada, really great tours, and you can work with your travel agent on that.
Perfect. What type of member benefits are there for booking AAA Member Choice Vacations through AAA?
Well, the member benefit on all tours would be at least $50, and then you do have a money towards the optional shore excursion, and then any offers in the industry will be combinable with that, loyalty credits or any offers that AAA is offering. But just to tell you, really do your research. AAA has the best pricing for AAA Member Choice Vacations. Do your research, but make sure you come back and you book through your AAA agent, because you're going to get that sedan service, you're going to get the best value and service. So that member satisfaction is fantastically high with AAA agents.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. So it looks like that's all the questions that we have. Like I said, your travel agents will be reaching out to you in the upcoming days, and there's many ways to reach out to us. We'll make sure that you guys have all of that information. I'm not sure about you guys, but I will definitely have be sending my travel agent an email after this. I am ready for a vacation. I just wanted to thank Kevin again for spending some time with us today, giving us a glimpse into these awesome itineraries. I also want to thank you all for spending some of your evening with us. We really appreciate having you. This is the second virtual event that we have hosted. So be sure to follow us on our social media platforms for more events in the future. You can simply search for AAA Northeast. We look forward to seeing you at our next virtual event, and we hope you all have a really good evening.